Hello and welcome to this coverage of the much anticipated season in the year from Bahrain International Circuit. Bahrain and the world is set to peak the 3 days of excitement as the Kingdom of Bahrain is hosting the Formula One Gulf Air Bahrain Grand Prix 2022. Each year, the circuit gears up for the Formula One and transforms itself into a platform for motorsport enthusiasts and avid fans alike to witness an epic display of mastery on the track, as the drivers face each other in a thrilling battle that puts to test their agility and ability. Racegoers hold their breath as the race starts and let out jubilant cheers as the champion makes his way to the checkered flag. And this year, Bahrain International Circuit has put together an unbelievable lineup of attractions for racegoers who can expect limitless thrills and amusement at the first race of a new era in F1. The race will usher in the next chapter of F1, following perhaps the biggest revolution of rules in the history of the sport. We have a lot lined up for this coverage. Stay tuned. We will be back with more right after this. Hello and welcome back. Police forces have completed all preparations and plans to provide the best and highest quality of security services in order to ensure the success of the Bahrain Grand Prix Formula One. A number of firm procedures and necessary measures were taken in order to ensure full safety of the race participants and audience. The primary and emergency plans reflect the readiness of the forces and capability to implement them with efficiency while dealing with emergencies. To know more about that, we are pleased to be joined here at the studio by Station Commander of Bidayah Fire Station, Major Walid Al Dawadi. Hello and welcome, Major Walid, for joining us here in the special program.
Thanks you for the invitation.
Mr. Walid, can you tell us about the significance of Bahrain hosting such a vital international sporting event?
Yes, sure. It's a representation of Bahrain. It's a representation of Bahrain across the globe. So for us as a Kingdom of Bahrain and holding such and hosting this kind of organizing this, it shows the effort and shows the discipline and all these factors that makes us unique with our own Formula One. And with that, it's testimony to the hard work that being collaborated by each member in the Formula One team, or family as we refer to. And for many, you can say it's a representation of a time in history of Formula One sports. And others see it as a platform to show the Bahraini heritage and the customs and traditions. And for younger generation, even they are proud, even when they are like holding the gaming consoles and playing the Formula One and seeing the Bahrain International Circuits here, there, it means a lot to them, it means the world to them. And for us as individuals, Bahraini and residents, we're always proud to see our flag across the globe, across the TVs and the social media platforms. So it's for us, it's endless moment, because now with these days and the growing social media and the growing of media as well, you can watch the event, you can rewatch it, you can share it. So it's endless moment for us. And it also has its impact on the tourism and the economy as well.
100%, and it definitely puts hosting such a big event puts Bahrain on the map, especially that we're starting the season here in Bahrain, which makes it even more special. Mr. Dawadi, can you tell us about the emergency plans that are being put in place by the General Directorate of the Civil Defense at the Ministry of Interior?
Yes, definitely. Planning for such an event, it takes time and takes lots of practice. It's began even before, since 2004, the first race. So we always have our plans and we have to test them. It's not just a plan for the event, it's for the, we're thinking of lots of elements, the circuit itself, the track, the safety of the teams, the drivers, everybody attending the event and the surrounding. So it's a continuous process. It's all the time you're planning and implementing and testing your plans and training. And as a firefighter, we're always training on a daily basis. So every year we gain more experience and we face lots of challenges and we step to them. And one of the testimonies that happened a couple of years ago on the track, and people around the world at that moment, like they were seeing the world going in slow motion.
Yes.
And what happened? This kind of response and reaction, it comes with years of practice and experience and personality and implementing new things. And for this race also there is a new era in the Formula One racing cars where they're implementing more technologies, aerodynamics, and lots of new features and rules going on. So we have to put this in our consideration and think about everything.
Of course, especially that you can't tell or predict what might happen on track, especially like what happened a few years ago. So you always need to be ready, always need to be prepared. What can you tell us about the General Directorate of Civil Defence's cooperation with other directorates and institutions to prepare for this huge event?
Yes, it's all about teamwork. And a great example of that also happened a couple of years ago. When the pandemic hit, we all became Team Bahrain.
Mm-hmm.
So we know as a key members when to be a team leader or a key member.
Mm.
So it takes all of us to be together and working and cooperation and putting all the resources together and making sure that what does need to be done like we had like a great vision from our command and we had the passion to carry out the mission to do it. So it's really crucial to understand what is your role and how you can employ it with others, because we're talking about a big teams and it's such a global thing. So it's not necessarily it's going to be like one agency or department or so we call ourselves like the Formula One family. So it's all of us and it's one of the basic police principles, the cooperation between each others.
Can you tell us about the process or the stages of preparation from before the race up until after the race?
Yes, as I mentioned previously, throughout the planning, we plan ahead and we start implementing our plan. And once the races start, we are being in, we can say it like response mode. So whatever happens, we're gonna deal with them. We have our staff, vehicle, whole the team is ready. Even when we have our own plans, sometimes things come, new things or new challenges, as we tell them. And as you know, as our nature, Bahraini nature, we always love to have a challenge and level up to it. So it's not also about responding to a fire accident, God forbidden, or something. It's also the services that we can provide and the help, and in each way that we can make this event more pleasant for the public.
Of course, and adding up onto that, you've mentioned that this year we're expecting a lot more visitors, a lot more tourists. What are the safety, let's say, plans that are being taken care of this year?
Yes, the plan, as I told you, it's we always evaluating our plan and seeing what's happened. So we went to step back in time to see what happened before 2019, see how things were, and see what things happened after that in the pandemic. And seeing now these years, and we are expecting a lots of crowds and from all across the world. So it's also it comes with the new challenges. When inshallah we'll be able to face them, but mainly it's how we deal with this situation. It's not just us, as I mentioned previously. It's all cooperation between all the agencies, all the people on the F1 family. So we are all there to help each other and support each other. So in this kind of events, it's all by how we can respond to it.
Exactly.
And what is the best way to do it.
Mm-hmm. Of course, and that shows and it reflects on the level of preparation and the level of, let's say, how the event is being carried. And which brings me to my last question. What is your advice for citizens, residents and visitors coming in to join the Formula One this year?
Yeah, my advice for them, first of all, to enjoy it. It's entertainment for everybody. It's a passion for sport, for the followers and the history. So make sure that you follow all the safety rules and enjoy your time.
100% very reactive. Which brings me to my last question, Major Walid. Is there anything you'd like to add before we conclude this interview?
No, actually, I'd just like to thank you for your invitation and hospitality, and wish everybody to have a very delightful time and enjoy their time. Thank you so much.
Major Walid, for joining us here today. And with that, we would like to call upon the public to cooperate with all security forces and follow instructions for their safety and security. Stay tuned with us. We will be back after this short break. Welcome back. Since 2004, Bahrain has been hosting the Formula One Bahrain Grand Prix, and this race brings together some of the most talented and devoted racers from across the globe. In the same spirit, the race brings together leaders from the worlds of business and investment to consolidate ties with the local business community, as well as showcase the opportunities to invest in the kingdom. This event showcases the kingdom's open business environment, where international investors are able to access the fast-growing GCC market, in which they can find talented human capital, strategic location, and conducive business environment with top commercial opportunities for gaining a competitive advantage. To talk more about this aspect, we are pleased to be joined on the phone by board member of the Bahrain Economic Development Board and Chief Operating Officer at Ali Rashid Al Amin Co., Mr. Khalid Ali Al Amin. Hello and welcome to the special coverage. What can you tell us about the significance of hosting such a vital international sports event in the kingdom from an economic point of view?
Well, this year event returned to Bahrain with a new era. Once again, putting Bahrain at the center of the international racing scene and highlighting Bahrain and Bahrain International Circuit as a position as one of the world's leading circuits. We welcome the positive vibe that boosts the race provided Bahrain tourism, hospitality sector, and I emphasize that the event showcased the kingdom open business environment where international and Arab and Khaliji investors are able to access the fast-growing GCC market. This year's race holds with an attend, hopefully, by a record-breaking crowd, which I hope it will be more than 32,000. And as the international publication of Formula One has reported this number. The race has a direct and indirect impact in the economy over $500 million, which is 600 million. In addition, statistics provide that Bahrain International Circuit highlights 70% increase on the number of tourists visiting the Kingdom of Bahrain, and since the launch of the first the race 2004, and the number of TV viewers, and this is very important to watch the Formula One Bahrain. It's around about 3.8 billion people will watch Bahrain on Sunday for the first race, for the first new era of the new cars.
Of course, and just like you mentioned, holding such a huge event on a large scale requires a lot of contribution from the private sector. What can you tell us about the private sector's role and contribution to the success of this event?
Well, I mean, let's put it this way. The private sector is flourishing this day. They are busy. There is a lot of things. It's been, again, I'm just emphasizing on this, it's been that the Formula One directly and indirectly, input $600 million of revenue to Bahrain economy, providing 100 people of jobs, providing a welcome economy boost, the leisure tourism sector, and they are the major beneficiary with the hotel occupancy, soaring the visitor of the Grand Prix, enjoying many amenities and entertainment that Bahrain offers. The success of the event, and I love this when they called it the friendly race, is one of the passion of the sport quality overall. Event in terms of organization and family entertainment, its benefit to the kingdom in terms of awareness, exposure, and significant economic impact. Another reason why the contract to the stage and round of the FIA Formula One World Championship on the country has been further extended to more and more fruitful years. Research showed that this covered over 1,000 organizations illustrate their local and regional service. Supplier contribute almost $40 million to this number of the total figure. This amount include marketing, events, infrastructure, operational costs, among others. There is hotel, restaurant, logistics, entertainment, mall, old market, insurance. All of these live a significant cost during the Formula One, which will impact on the economy in a positive way.
Of course, just like you mentioned, this event does not only place Bahrain in the sports map, but also places it in a business map. What can you tell us about how this international event could contribute effectively to the development of investment projects in the kingdom?
See, as Bahrain, we've been known. We are staged as an island kingdom, trusting Arabian hospitality, heritage, and contemporary entertainment. The race itself, historical, been a very successful. The calendar of this year, I mean, we are the first with a new car, a new era. I mean, all of the world and the business owner and the regional businesses are looking at Bahrain and looking at the success of this event. Bahrain has been growing on the economy. Bahrain has been attracting, I mean, as last year, EDB itself attracted $900 million of investor. So we do our best as a business community also to host all this visitor that they are coming here to look to open businesses, to GB with them, or to flourish their road for them agreeing to open their businesses. We welcome all, and we've been successfully there since 2004 doing this. We had hundreds or thousands of the companies since 2004, and our economy is doing well. So we welcome everybody to open their headquarters in Bahrain.
Of course, and just like you mentioned, it's been a tough couple of years. And after years of constant progress, despite all the global challenges, how do you see the future of Bahrain's economy?
Well, the future of Bahrain, I mean, Bahrain is a country of the large financial structure. Bahrain finance industry is a very successful. Bahrain was named the world's fastest growing financial center by the City of London, which is the Global Financial Center Index. Bahrain banking and financial service sector, particularly Islamic banking, have benefited from the regional boom. And the demand of oil, the demand of aluminium, which is the second most exported product, has contributed to Bahrain economy. The year-end annual GDP growth rate is expected to be 3.1, with a non-oil sector to be expected to grow to 3.2 or 3, if I'm not mistaken. And looking into 2022, the forecasted growth is expected to be 4.1, underlining the recovery of the non-oil economic sector by 5% after the pandemic. And let me mention that the government had announced a national economic growth and fiscal balance plan, I mean, to recover the economy, which pushed a zero defected target back from 2022 to 2024, increase at the rate of the VAT, which held the government to recovery. Let me just elaborate again. I mean, people like company like Arla or Kraft or Citibank or Bafco Food or the Avenue or Agility, and with the EDB effort, I mean, we are tracking most of these companies. These company counts because Bahrain has an international standard, international policy. and they see the future of the economy as I see it. It's promising and prosper.
And this just proves or reflects the fruitful years that are ahead of us. And before we conclude, is there anything you'd like to add?
I wish all the spectators and the viewers and the people of Bahrain have a nice Formula One 2022 with new beautiful cars. And we wish all the teams all the success, especially McLaren. Thank you.
Thank you for being with us, and we would like to affirm once again that this amazing sports event returns to Bahrain this year, putting the kingdom at the center of the international racing scene and highlighting its strategic position as one of the world's leading business hubs. Stay tuned with us. We will be back right after this short break. Fun family entertainment awaits all those attending Bahrain Grand Prix weekend at BIC. Always a big part of any major racing event at BIC is the off-track entertainment, and this year will be no different at this year's Bahrain Grand Prix with a fantastic array of attractions for the whole family. Fans will be able to step onto the 42-meter high Ferris wheel and enjoy a bird's-eye view of the surrounding Sakhir area, or feel the adrenaline rush by fastening their seatbelts in the carousel-like Ghost Rider speed ride. Amongst the other attractions at BIC over the race weekend are stage acts and roaming performers, such as renowned street performer Abraham Thill, a life-size toy brigade, a funky-style band from Italy, Jam Batucada musical show from Spain, and plenty of other kids' entertainment. This was all for today's special coverage. Stay tuned with us tomorrow at the same time. Goodbye.